Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the UEES Retribution as the huge space station grew larger. After 50 years of peaceful relations with alien races, humanity was finally being accepted into the Galactic Council was the moment every human had dreamed of since the beginning. Contact Captain Lisa Hayes walked up to him, her outfit crisp and her face filled with the same joy he felt. "Sir, we are receiving docking orders from the station, and they want us to dock at Bay 17. Jake nodded. "Very good, Captain. Signal the rest of our fleet to take their allotted stations around the station today. Humanity becomes part of something more than only Earth." The diplomatic fleet consisted of 12 spacecraft, each representing the best of humanity. Engineering the UES Retribution was the flagship designed with the finest technology mankind could produce, mixed with some alien technology they had traded for over the years. It was designed to show the cosmos that humanity were ready. Join the big leagues. Lisa returned to her captain's chair and began delivering commands to her crew. The ship moved slowly. Everything seemed regular and serene as they moved toward the docking area, following the path the aliens had provided. Just with the past 50 years of communication with the 7 alien species, Jake remembered back to when he was younger. When and the first extraterrestrial ship had appeared over Earth, the Zephyrians had come in peace and offered friendship. After 6 more extraterrestrial races made contact, they formed the Galactic Council. That they intended to help humanity grow and learn. For decades, humans have shared their culture, art, and in exchange, the aliens taught humans about space flight, energy production, and medicine. Advances it seemed like the perfect alliance. Humans got to explore the stars and aliens got to study this. Dr. Sam Parker was in his lab on Deck 7, creating a new species called mankind. Final checks on the translation equipment. As the fleet's foremost alien expert, he would be assisting with all the critical discussions. He had spent the majority of his adult life learning about the 7 species, their languages, and he was eager to finally see the council chambers where all the key decisions were made on the space station. Was immense, bigger than any human city, and it orbited a planet called Kepler 442b, which the aliens had chosen as neutral ground. No single race dominated it, making it the perfect site for the council to meet. The station included 7 different sections, one for each alien. As the human ships docked, they all gathered in a central area. Jake felt a sense of satisfaction in humanity's progress from the days when they were stuck on one little. They were ready to take their place among the great civilizations of the cosmos, and Commander Ryan Brooks was in head of security for the human delegation. He had prepared his teams for months to ensure they understood how to operate. Despite the fact that this was meant to be a pleasant meeting, he never took any chances. When it came to protecting human lives, the docking operation took 2 hours. Jake assembled his senior officers in the main conference room, including Lisa, Sam Ryan, and 20 other critical staff would accompany him to the station, while the others would remain on the ships, ready to assist if necessary. "Ladies and gentlemen," Jake began today. "We will make history in a few hours. We'll formally join the Galactic Council. We've toiled 50 years for this moment, so let's make sure we represent species." Everyone nodded with serious looks. They all understood how this day was crucial not only for them but for every human back on Earth, and the group traveled through the colonies. Docking tube and into the alien station. The artificial gravity felt the same as on their ships, but the air smelled. There were weird sounds coming from the walls, most likely extraterrestrial music or communication devices. Hallways were wide and tall to fit different alien body shapes in a group. Zafran escorts welcomed them at the entrance. The insect-like aliens clicked and buzzed as they spoke. "The council is prepared to welcome humans by translating their utterances into English." Jake had seen Zafrans many times before, but they still looked strange to him. They were around 7 feet tall, with forearms and hard shell-like skin. Their eyes were huge and dark, and they moved in fast, jerky motions. Their appearance had always been pleasant to humans, and the group traveled through various halls passing aliens. There were tall, slim Altarians with blue skin, and the crystalline Vort glittered as they. The water-loving Hydros wore special suits to survive in the station's environment, which Jake had studied. All of them over the years, and seeing them together still amazed him the most. The council room was huge, with 7 elevated platforms surrounding a central space where humans would stand. The platform housed individuals from one of the extraterrestrial races, and the entire area was decked with symbols and artwork from. Admiral Scar of the Zapran stood up as the humans, representing all the many cultures. His speech was translated as he spoke. Humans of Earth, you have gone far. Since we first met your species today, we welcome you to our council as full members. Jake came forward to deliver his planned speech about friendliness and cooperation, but as he opened his lips, something changed in the chamber, and all of the aliens turned to gaze at each other. Jake and others spotted what appeared to be smiles on their faces, but they weren't joyful smiles. Admiral Scar spoke again, but his smiles indicated problems. This time, his statements were different from what Jake expected. Actually, we humans. I have something else to share with you today that is much more essential than membership. The chamber doors banged. With a loud blast, red lights began to flash, and Jake heard the sound of weaponry being charged up his heart. Began beating quicker as he sensed something was extremely wrong. See Zexer. Added, the Galactic Council has been monitoring your race extremely attentively for 50 years. We have studied your battles. We've seen how quickly you adapt and how destructive your way of thinking may be. Jake felt his blood become cold around him. His policemen reached for their sidearms, but Ryan held up a hand to stop them. They were outnumbered, and violence would only get them murdered sooner. We have decided, Zexer stated. With that dreadful smile, that humanity is what we call a Class 7 threat species. You grow too rapidly, learn too quickly, and fight too well if we allow you to continue. You will eventually become a menace to all of us, the other aliens. Representatives nodded in agreement. Jake recognized that everything had been planned. 50 years of friendship, technology sharing, cultural exchange. It was all a lie. The aliens had been researching humanity in the same way that scientists study lab rats to learn about their weaknesses. And planned their destruction. Thus Admiral Excar announced, The Galactic Council ruled unanimously that the human species must be destroyed. Before you become too powerful to stop. As if on cue, every alarm on the human ships began screaming at the same time. Captain Lisa Hayes hurried through the hallways of the UES Retribution. Explosions rattled the ship. As alien weapons tore into the hull, she could hear her crew shouting orders and damage reports above the cacophony. All hands battle stations, she cried into her communication device. This is not a drill, we are being attacked on the bridge. Lieutenant Ben Cooper was hurriedly working at his station. Captain, we have big enemy ships surrounding the station. They appeared out of nowhere, our sensors never detected them coming. Lisa jumped into her captain's chair and stared at the main screen. Hundreds of alien warships had appeared around the council station. They were much larger than anything mankind had ever seen, and their armaments were already shooting at the human fleet. Where's Admiral Morrison? She inquired, are you still on the station with the diplomatic team? Ben responded, we're trying to contact them, but the aliens are jamming all communications. Lisa gritted her teeth. She had to save her admiral, but she also had to consider about her ship and crew. The alien fleet was massive, and her small. The diplomatic force didn't have a chance in a straight fight. Set course for docking bay 17, she instructed.